Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're out here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. It's a beautiful winter morning. Today we're out ice fishing. Ice fishing is a big part of what I do. I love to fish. I haven't done much ice fishing since I left New England, but today's my first time out here in southern Black Hills. So far it's been a pretty slow morning. I did catch one rainbow trout. You can see this here. It's about a 12-inch rainbow. I keep them about 3 or 4. That's what we like to eat. But most of them I'll turn back into the water. But I'll finish up here usually with about 3, and then once I catch that many or so, I call it a day. But today we're using tip-ups and doing a little bit of jigging with a jigging rod. This here is a jigging rod. It's outfitted with a bell, and we got what they call a Swedish pimple on here. That's the lure we're using today. So I'll jig for a little while, and then I'll do what they call dead sticking and just leave it there. But you can hear the bells in the background. That alerts me if there is a fish bites. And then we have out here 3 tip-ups set up, each with a different type of bait. I'm using wax worms, maggots, and then on this one right here, I'm using a power bait. But on this type of tip-up, as you can see, it's in the water, drilled holes. I have an 8-inch auger, and there's about 5 or 6 inches of ice. But the way these work is when the fish takes the bait, it turns this rod here, and then the flag goes up, alerting me that I have a fish on. So that's kind of the basics of ice fishing, but we may talk about more and see if we can get some footage of us catching some trout out here today. Looks like we had a flag go off, so we'll make our way out to this tip-up. It's pretty windy out here today. It could just be the wind. That was likely had a bite. Bait is gone, or one piece of the bait is missing, so we'll rebait this. As I mentioned earlier, we're using wax worms as one of our baits today. These are the wax worms. So we'll go ahead and rebait this with a couple, and then put it back down. As you can see, we baited that hook, and we'll go ahead and send it back down. I only put out about, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet of line. I'm fishing in pretty shallow water today. So the way these work, when the fish bites, you have this tab on the reel, hits this lever, and then releases the flag. And the flag just attaches right there, I'm gonna put the bait back down. And then the tip up's ready to go for the next bite. Every once in a while I'll just move my tip ups around. Well, it looks like we got a flag up over here. You can see the, as I mentioned earlier, the top of the reel assembly moving. See, it's turning there a little bit. There's a fish. So what I'll do is pick it up easy, spool out a little bit of line, set the hook. Look at that. And we got ourselves another nice rainbow. So he swallowed this hook pretty well, so this will be one of the ones that I keep today. But that's a pretty nice rainbow, about 12 inches. Real nice color, nice fish. So I'll rebait the hook. This is one of the other baits I'm using. It's a they call power bait. Works pretty well. These are like a salmon with like a salmon egg, so I'll just put these on the hook and send it back down. So we're just back from catching that one fish, but start where I left off. Once I drill the hole, I have an ice scoop that removes the slush in the ice out of the hole. And then to determine the depth, there's two ways you can do it, and I'll talk as I move around, but I have a depth finder, which is electronic. There's all kinds of different ones, and you can spend a lot of money on them. This one's pretty inexpensive, and again, I'm just checking, see how deep of water I'm in. So this you have just a readout and the transducer and a float. And we'll just put this in the hole, and then it'll tell you how deep the water is. Pretty windy out here today. You set the transducer in the hole, power the unit up, and this says we're in about 4.7 feet of water. This will tell you fish, structure, those kinds of things, but I'm just always really interested in the depth. So this one hasn't been very productive today, so I'm going to move this tip up. Oh, well, not productive because there's no bait on it. That's one of the things you have to do, is check them pretty often, and that's why I'm moving that one around. I haven't seen too much action on it today, but we'll move it out here and see what happens. As I was mentioning, there's another way to check depth. This is what they call a sounder. It's got a spring on it, and you just put it on your hook, and then send it down the hole. Once you feel it hit bottom, you kind of grab it at the top of the ice, and again, we're not real deep here, and it's about the same as what I measured with the depth finder. This is the most inexpensive way to figure out the depth of your water, and then you don't want to have your bait on the ground or on the lake floor. You want to lift it up a little bit. One of the other things I do on my tip ups is I put buttons on there, and then if I'm in, like, say 20 feet of water, I'll slide the button up 2 feet, so then that knows I'm about 18 feet of line out. So that's one way of doing it. In a lake this shallow, I won't even put the button out because I know what the depth is. So we'll go ahead and bait this hook. And I'm gonna have to put a sinker on this because this is like a floating bait, so it won't go down without extra weight. And then I'll just put on a split shot sinker. Just one will do it. And I'll put it about, I don't know, 12-13 inches up the line, just away from the bait. So then that'll give me the weight to get the bait down to the fish. Like I had mentioned, I won't be using buttons today, but I want to get them far enough up the line so they don't get caught in the reel on the way out when the fish takes the line. So we'll just spool it on there. And we got about 2.5 feet of line out. We'll set the flag, and then we're ready to hopefully wait for some more fish to bite. Looks like we had another flag go up. Like I mentioned, it is windy out here today, but it could be just wind. Yeah, it was probably just wind. Like I said, I'll just watch this for a minute to see if the top of the reel turns. Could have been wind, but we'll give it a look here in a second. Well, must have been a fish. We lost our bait, so we'll rebait this and send it back down. Pretty busy day here today. Like I said, I haven't been ice fishing in a long time, but this is a pretty productive day, and from my standpoint. And this is the tip up I just moved a few minutes ago. So I think that was a good move to relocate it. We haven't seen any action on it thus far this morning, but we'll see if it produces a fish. Looks like we got another flag. Looking down to see if the reel's moving any. It isn't. We'll check the bait. Yeah, bait's still good, so we'll put this one back down. Trying to set the flag here. There we go. So we'll set that back down in the hole. Hopefully he bites again. Got another rainbow here. Get him out of the ice. That's a nice fish. Wow, that's the biggest one of today. This will be the third rainbow trout I've caught today. Real nice coloring. Nice fish. Pull the hook out here and been out here most of the morning. Had a pretty good morning. We caught 3 nice rainbow trout. It's getting to be around 12 o'clock lunchtime, and fishing has slowed down. We caught what we wanted to catch, so we're going to start picking up our gear here and call it a day. Thanks for watching.